Hi there, my name is Kat Courtney. I am the CEO and co-founder of Plant Medicine People. It is a company that is devoted to creating more intimate relationships between plants and humans. And I'm here to talk about why it's really important that people who facilitate plant medicine ceremonies, psychedelic journeys, that they have something I'm calling a stable ego. Why is it important that an individual have some sense of stability in their own ego if they're holding space for others? Well, because a lot of what we do in terms of holding space and helping people navigate traumas and deep, difficult, painful processes is we are anchored in a state of consciousness where we invite others to join us, and it cannot be faked. So for example, if I go to sit with somebody in an ayahuasca ceremony that is really deep in processing fear, and I have any level of fear myself, it's contagious. It will be felt, especially in how the medicines amplify our sensitivities and our awarenesses. So we cannot fake stability. We cannot fake a regulated nervous system. We cannot fake a sense that we trust everything's okay. And so as facilitators, we have to go through the experience time and time again of not feeling everything's okay, of basically breaking down and going through an unstable sort of chaotic place to come into a deeper sense of self and a deeper sense of trust that we can handle the curveballs of these spaces and that we trust the medicines that we carry. So stable egos, they also have a lot of other traits, such as the capacity to hold that two contradictory principles are equally valid. So for example, if somebody comes through an ayahuasca ceremony and says, wow, Kat, ayahuasca is a very masculine energy to me. That's not my experience, but they're not wrong if that's what they feel. So to have a stable ego is to understand that what we believe to be true and how we see the world is not the only way to see it. And that if somebody experiences things entirely different, they're just as valid and just as right, and that we can be spacious around that. Stable egos also don't need constant validation. This is a big thing that's happening with a lot of well-meaning but still unstable and immature beings that are holding spaces with psychedelics, is that they need the validation that they're doing it right, or that, you know, they're the ones that are creating the magic. If you sit with anybody that wants to make it sound like it's them that is responsible for the amazing things that happen in the space, you're with somebody who's unstable. They want to be a guru more than they want to be a facilitator, and that is a very common thing. So it's just important that as medicine carriers that we know that the magic is created by the medicine, of course, first and foremost, the individuals who are willing to do the intense shadow work and processing, and we as vessels absolutely get credit for what we co-create, but we're not the ones doing it. So a stable ego is humble and is in awe of this incredible process of healing without needing to claim it as something that we're doing ourselves. A stable ego likes to share power, likes to honor other people's gifts, and doesn't need to be at the top of the pyramid or on some sort of pedestal. That is a very common lack of stability that's happening in our spaces. And lastly, a stable ego has a sense of self that is solid, that doesn't need to, again, be validated by other people, but in particular, stable ego can handle people who project on us. Happens all the time, that the people sitting behind the altar get, you know, kind of scapegoated or projected upon, but it's important that we not become defensive. It's important that we not make people wrong just because their experience is different than ours. For example, I have had people say, you don't feel safe to me. And that breaks my heart because safety is just at the core of what I like to create, but it also makes sense that I can't be safe to all people. And so if somebody has that experience, it's valid. I have to honor that that's what they feel, as much as I'd like to make it otherwise. So stability just means acceptance, self-connection and love, the capacity to literally hold space and not make it about ourselves. So if this is your calling, if you're working in this space, please, please, please continue to do your own work so that safety is truly what we're creating for the people that sit with us. And as participants in these spaces, be super discerning that the people you sit with feel solid, feel like they're heart-led, not these fragile egos that when in the context of working with medicines can just create way more harm than good. Thank you for listening. Would love for you to subscribe to our channel if you're not already. And if you have comments or questions about any of this, please drop us a note. Really appreciate you being here. Until next time.